you succeeded now.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show where we're having confessions.
Because did she not say that like she's gonna raise hold it up, Rosie.
No, because you make me nervous. And I say it fast because it's like a habit. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances.
Where's everybody at? Who am I, Rosie?
This
Focus.
is... You saying stuff is making me so not focused.
Rosie, focus.
This is your Meet Your JoJo Watto, the only Live Past Crazy specialist, so what better place to be than here with her? That's not me, because you're looking at me, not her, but
Because Rosie is starting the show this morning for the car edition. Happy Monday. You want to say happy Monday? Rosie, I hate when you do that.
Happy Monday.
Thank you. Without all the extras. Can I have Jesus, please? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. So we're trying our best to get started. Give me that. Mel, you want to say good morning? Good morning. All right, y'all. And how do you do? We'd like to introduce ourselves to you. You want to sing with me? Mm-mm. Good morning, guys. Mel, you like a little mole with your hair popping over the top. I hope everybody's ready to get this Monday morning started. Where's the notes at, Mel? You about to leave me? And she has my notes. So, Rose, you want to write it down? We are, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you were safe. We are in the throes of selling Girl Scout cookies. I need an order form.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So if you need your Girl Scout cookies, please make sure you reach out to your local Girl Scout.
Preferably.
Oh, you don't?
I said
My name is your Meet Your JoJo Watto, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be? They're here with me. Oh, excuse me. I had a great weekend. Even though the household is sick, it's going to be a great day.
It's one person.
All right, so guys, the thought for the day on this motivational Monday, as Miss Margaret says, make it happen Monday, is all about choices. We always have confessions and conversations over here. It doesn't matter if it's a pencil or a pen. We are always having confessions and conversations over here because it's about your everyday life and how you can overcome the crazy. Oh, Mel has to open up her phone again so I can see the note. So, I wanted to share with you guys that sometimes when you are, thank you, when you are on this journey to be fearless, and when you're on this journey to live a different life, you are going to have to, and this was hard for me. So when you are choosing to do something different, when you are choosing to do something different, when you realize that this is absolutely, you like my ring on? You absolutely do not like, sorry, I just held it up. I was like, oh, I forgot to show it to Melody. You absolutely do not like where you are, and you know you want to do something different. The hardest part of that journey, once you decide that you're going to do something different, is being different from your family. That is the hardest thing because they're going to call you weird. They're going to call you slow, maybe stupid, maybe crazy. Like, who are you to be doing anything different than what everybody else in the family is doing? And when I tell y'all that was hard for me, it was hard for me because then I had to stand up to my family. I had to stand up to my friends who don't understand, who did not understand where I was going, why I was doing it, and what I wanted to be in life. Even though this weekend I discovered I wanted to be Picasso. I wanted to be an artist this weekend because I painted for the first time. Couldn't tell me nothing. But then, you know what that made me think about? Growing up, how I used to love to dance, sing, and perform. Can I have some lotion? Love dance, to sing, dance, perform. I would draw, I would write. And somewhere in the midst of all of that, look at my pocketbook and give me some lotion. Somebody convinced me that I was not good at it. And so I stopped doing it. And so I had to learn to stand up for myself. So on this journey, when you decide that you're going to do something different, it is going to take a minute for your family, and then your family may never understand, but it's going to take some time. And that's when you have to be okay with knowing that you made the right decision for you, and be okay with you maybe being the only person who is different in your family, and being okay with the only person who sees what you see about where you need to go. Okay, love you. Have a great day. Be peaceful. Be peaceful, Melody. Be okay with being the only person that can see that and or understand that journey. So even when, and sometimes the name calling will come from family and friends, and it may be in the form of, you're crazy, you do too much, who are you? Thank you for putting that on. Who are you? You can't do that. Well, we've always done it this way. And that word alone can stop so many people when they get caught up in saying, well, we've always done it this way. What does that mean if you've always done it that way? So on this journey, that was a hard lesson. That was an absolutely hard lesson for me to learn, was the fact that I was doing it different than my entire family. And they picked at me for that. And they gave me a hard time for it. And I had to be okay with wanting something different than the rest of my family wanted. I had to be okay with saying, yeah, I know this is how we've always done it, but be okay with maybe I'm supposed to be different. And maybe this is how it's supposed to be. So think that's not the topic for today. But on this journey, you're going to have to be okay with that. So today's topic is, when you make a choice, everything, you got to be okay with everything that follows that choice. So are you choosing to live in scarcity, or are you choosing to live in abundance? So whatever your choice is, then you've got to be okay with everything that comes along with that choice. Good morning, Lynn. So that means you've got to be okay if you choose. And this, Lisa Nichols says this: the tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have to align. They have to be going in the same direction. If they're not, then you have a knot. The tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have got to be going in the same direction. You can't tell me that you're living in abundance when your mindset is living in scarcity. And that scarcity could be, I can't get a better job. I can't move. I can't, I have to stay here for my kids. When my kids graduate, I'll do this. Scarcity could be, this is all the money I'm ever going to make. Scarcity could be, this is the only place I've ever lived my whole life, so why I'm scared to move somewhere else. Scarcity can look like so many things. Well, because I'm a big girl, nobody's going to love me, so I'm going to take this emotional abuse. Because I'm a skinny girl, nobody's going to love me, so I'm going to take this emotional abuse. Because I'm JoJo, nobody's going to understand me, so I'm going to take this emotional abuse. Scarcity looks like whatever frustrates you or drives you crazy. And you've got, if that's the mindset you're going with, if that's the choice, then you've got to be willing to handle what comes along with that choice. And you can say all day, I didn't choose that. And you're correct. Sometimes we didn't choose our situations. Sometimes our situations chose us. But at some point, y'all, we have to decide, are we going to do something about it? Are you going to continue to live in scarcity, or are you going to live in abundance? And the tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have got to be aligned at some point. So if they're not aligned, then you're going in two different directions. And then somewhere in the Bible that says, a man with an unstable mind is like the wind. It keep changing. You ever heard of that? Or seen that happen? Good morning, Miss Valerie. So when you make a choice, you've got to be willing to handle everything that goes along with that choice. And you choosing is a choice. If you choose to continue to live in crazy, that is a choice. If we continue to accept our situation or our surroundings as so, that is a choice. If we choose to live in scarcity, and remember, scarcity could be, who am I to change anything? And the biggest thing that would keep a lot of people stuck is we've always done it like this. We've always been broke. We've always been poor. We've always lived in this house. We've always lived in this county, this state, this neighborhood. We've always married this type of people. We've always dated. And we've always will keep us restricted, constricted to things that may not be serving us. If what is going on right now is not currently serving you for who you are at your core, then it's up to us to take a serious look at what are we going to do about it? What are going to be our next steps to living in our purpose? Maybe you need purpose partners. Maybe you need somebody to help you take what you see to help you see it here, to think differently. Or maybe it's somebody to bounce those thoughts and ideas off of that may not look like you. Meaning they may not live in your household. They may not live in your community. They may not be the people you work with. They may be somebody totally different. Are you choosing to live in scarcity on purpose? Or are you going to choose to live in abundance? And living in scarcity doesn't necessarily mean money. It just may mean scarcity in your mindset of who am I to do this? And y'all, I ain't even gonna lie. That was a hard struggle for me, because this is where living in scarcity mindset is going to get you. If you are fresh out of crazy, or if you're trying to get out of crazy, this is the scarcity mindset. And this is my confession. It's going to say, JoJo, you've always done this thing. So who are you to do this? Your family has always done this. So who are you to do this? That scarcity mindset will remind you that you may be alone for a minute in this journey. It will remind you that you think different, act different. Great morning, Miss Margaret. It may remind you that there's just something different about you that doesn't fit the norm of your friends, of your family, of your situation. And that scarcity mindset will remind you of who are you to be doing this? And it will call to your memory everything that you tried to do that did not work. It will be intentional about bringing all your failures, your mishaps, your failed ideas. It will bring all of that. But if you choose to continue to live in that mindset, then you've got to accept the things that come along with that mindset. So that may mean when those thoughts come up, you don't disagree with them. You agree with them and you stay in that. And then you stay stuck in that and you don't try to move past that thought. Another confession. I have those thoughts all the time. Yes. Thank you, Margaret. I love Lisa Nichols' quote. She said, the tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe must be aligned. They've got to be going in the same direction. When you're living past crazy, it's hard to get both of them to line up. But as you continue to say it with your mouth, your actions are going to start to line up. As you continue to speak it out, your actions are going to continue to line up, and you're going to continue to go where you need to go to do the things that you need to do. That's a point. That's a fact. So scarcity mindset showed up when I wrote book 1. JoJo, who are you to be telling your story about anything that happened? That's private, number 1. Number 2, who are you to be sharing your story with anybody? They don't care. They don't care. You should have known better not to marry that man. And I had every negative thought that you could possibly think of. But it is at that point, because this is the place where battles are won. It is at that point when that thought comes that you got to replace it with something else. And you got to push past that negative. And thank you, as Margaret said, you got to break away from it. You got to, even when I was writing the book and before I would send it to the publisher, before I hit send, I would say, Father God, what am I doing writing this book? Who am I writing this book? Yes, Miss Valerie, where the mind goes, the person's following. Right. And let me tell you, the hardest thing in writing that book was some of the older members of my family absolutely, I think, died, resurrected themselves and died again because I told my business. Why are you telling our family business? No. And here's where you got to be careful. When you are telling your story, and I'm no longer emotional, I can tell it now because I'm not as emotionally attached to it as I was in the beginning. But you got to be careful. Sometimes people don't want you to tell your story. People don't want you to be different. They don't want you to live outside of your crazy. They don't want you to move. They don't want you to get divorced. They don't want you to get a new job. They don't want you to get no new friends. They want you to stay right where you are, simply because it's going to highlight who they are. It's going to highlight who they are. In the case of your family, it may highlight the fact that you might have reached out for help from your family and said, hey, I'm desperate. This is what I need. And it may highlight the fact that your family ignored it, or they ignored you, or they assumed, oh, you're just okay. It may highlight that fact. It may highlight the fact that because you wanted something different, they gave you a hard time about it. Yes, because it made them feel bad at what they didn't do. So on this fearless journey, you got to, if you're thinking in that scarcity mindset and you're starting to live past crazy, it's going to come up. But you have got to be mindful that whatever you choose, and you not choosing is a choice, you've got to be willing to deal with what comes with not choosing. When they say, who are you to be different? You're crazy. Why are you reading this book? Why are you going back to school again? Why did you do this? When they start to question that, you've got to be okay with being different from your family. You got to be okay with your choice that you're making for yourself. And you've got to sit with that. Meaning you got to sit with it, meaning, okay, Jojo, this is my choice and I'm choosing to sit with it. And I am bound and determined to make it happen. Because your family, and I say family, I'm talking family, friends, whoever, they're going to make you feel insecure about your decision. They're going to make you feel so bad that you're choosing to live different from them that they're going to almost make you believe that you are really crazy and that you don't need to change your life. That's how deep they're going to go. And it is at that point, because it's the place where battles are won. It's on that invisible stretch of the road. It is at that point that you've got to decide, I'm sitting with my decision. I'm not moving. I don't care what you think. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you say. I'm sitting with this because this is my truth. This is what is true to me at my core. This is what makes my soul happy. And if I continue, because here's the choice. You're either going to choose to continue to live in scarcity, or you're going to choose to continue to live in abundance. One of the two. The tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have got to align. And if you continue to, or if you allow other people to influence your choices, then you've got to be okay with what comes along with that choice. And then I realized I was not willing to be okay with that choice. And it hurt my feelings. It made me cry. I was mad. I was angry. I was every emotion when I didn't get the support that I thought I should have received when I decided I didn't want to live crazy anymore. What do you mean you're moving? What do you mean you're quitting that job? What do you mean you're writing a book and putting your business out of there? What do you mean you in a movie to tell your business? What do you mean of doing that? Right. And at some point, Margaret, we've got to get sick and tired of hiding our greatness, our light, because it is shining the darkness on somebody else's. A lot of people are upset because the activity that you do is highlighting the inactivity of their life. And here's the thing, my sisters, because I am my sister's keeper. And if y'all want one of those t-shirts, please let me know. I just ordered some. Hashtag I am my sister's keeper. Here's the thing. That's not your business. Your light shining and dimming somebody else's is not your business. That's their light. But the song say you need to let your little light shine. So I want you to be great. I want you to be amazing. Don't live in that scarcity mindset because mom and them, you think mom and them want you to be a certain way. And you feel like you can't break away from the mold of the family. Yes, you absolutely can. You are different, my sister. You are so different, and you know within your knowing that you're different, and you've been knowing it, like you've known it your whole life. But your family and some of your closest friends, I tell you, it broke my heart to, when I tell you I cried, I was upset. It broke my heart that some of my closest friends said, JoJo, you crazy. Why are you moving? Why I lost my job? Why did you cash in your 401k, pack up kids and move? You had nowhere to go. You had no money. You had no job. Why did you do that? Why did you write a book? Why are you trying to be so different than everybody else? I'm not trying to be so different. I am different. And that scarcity mindset, that's when it's going to come in, because, and you got to realize, they can only love you as far as what they can see. They can't love you past that. And you may see past them, and you got to be okay with them loving you where they are. I had to be okay with the fact that my friends could only love me to where they could see me. Good morning, Mr. Kim. They could only love me where they could see me. My family could only love me where they could see me. They couldn't love me where I saw myself. And I had to be okay with that. I had to take that love and let that suffice. And then, as Margaret says, we build a tribe. I'm looking for purpose partners. I'm looking for new friends. Y'all know I got rules. So I keep saying I'm going to post those rules. I'm posting those rules today. I'm looking for new friends who are going to help love me and move me to where I can see. Because I already got the love up until where I was. I'm trying to go somewhere else. So that scarcity mindset, and this is, it's hard right there, because making a choice, and you're making a choice whether you choose to or not, you've got to be okay with what comes along with that choice. If you continue to not want to hurt your mama and them's feelings, your cousin them's feelings, because you have a light that's shining, but you keep trying to put a cloth or something on top of it so you don't outshine them, that, my friend, is living in scarcity. It will eat you alive. It will keep you up at night. It will make you have a smart mouth. It will make you think nasty thoughts to people. I'm talking about myself. This is true confessions and conversations. When I chose not to do what I was supposed to do what the good Lord called me to do, and live in what I was supposed to be, I was snappy. I was ugly. I was mean. I had a smart mouth. I had nasty thoughts towards people. I was judging people. And it was simply because who I was at my core was fighting. We were at an all-out war. I was fighting who I was trying to present as opposed to who I wanted to be. And I had to make a choice. And when I made that choice, I'm no longer going to live in that scarcity mindset, meaning I'm no longer going to try to conform to what everybody wants me to be. And I'm going to live true to who JoJo needs to be, because you need to be that. Then my attitude changed. My mouth changed. My thoughts towards people changed. I stopped being judgmental, because I was judging people on expectations I had set for them that they had no idea about, and nor did they choose to want to know. And it made it harder for me to interact with them. But once I got to the point of, this is my life and I'm only responsible for my light, and when I focus on doing what is at my core and my soul and what I'm supposed to do, then my judgment is going away, because that's their space and they're free to have it. Right, Miss Margaret. And I was that way. I was downright ugly and judgmental to everybody. And when it finally hit me, it's not my place to judge them. And the only reason why I was mad, angry, and frustrated is because I wasn't living true to who I was. And it wasn't their fault that I wasn't living how JoJo wanted to live. It was my fault. That was all my fault. Because here's the truth. Your friends and family, bless their hearts, and we love them dearly. They are A-okay with where you are. They are so happy with where you are, and they want you to stay right there because they can love you right there. Because your friends and family want to keep you safe at all times, and they can keep you safe if you stay in that house, at that job, in that relationship, thinking the thoughts that you think. As long as you stay right there, they can keep you safe. But the minute you step outside of that, they can't keep you safe. And it's not their fault that they can't see you over there. It's not their fault. It is your responsibility to show them that you have to go. There's no option for you to stay. You have to show them you have to go, and you're going to be okay if you go and challenge what we've always done. What we've always done has kept many a sister, many a brother in crazy homes, relationships, communities, state, jobs, and they have died with the hunger inside of them that they couldn't put their finger on. It was because they had forced themselves, when I'm round, to get into a square, and it doesn't work. And that's my true confession and conversation for today. It will not work. You're either going to continue to choose a scarcity mindset or abundance mindset. Your tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have got to be aligned. Exactly. You cannot. And when I tell you, that hurt me to my heart, because for me, all I ever wanted to do, once I was okay with the idea of being who I was, once I was secure in that, JoJo, this is who you are, baby. You are a nerd. You are a singer. You are a dancer. You are more creative than what you think. But because somebody else told you at some point in time you could not be, you accepted that. And so then you tried to transform your way into every word that somebody told you that you were. But when I broke free of that and I defined myself the way I wanted to be defined, when I found words that were true to who I was at my core, that's when I was okay with being okay. You got to be okay with being okay that your friends and family may not think like you. They may not understand you. It's not for you sometimes to explain it. Sometimes people ask me stuff, I give the vaguest answer that I could possibly give, because I know and you got to get that. Is that discernment? Is that the word I want to use? Intuition, that some people are asking because they love you, and some people are asking out of obligation. Some people are asking because they love you, and some people are asking out of obligation. JoJo, what are you doing? And I know in my know that you're asking just because it's polite. And so I'm going to politely give you the vaguest answer. Because if I invest my energy and my time in expressing my dreams and my thoughts to you, I'm giving energy to you that you don't want, and it's taking away energy that I need to put towards my dream. And I can't afford to give that to you. And you've got to be selfish about that, because if you're not selfish about that, you're not going to be able to continue to do the job that you were put here to do. You got to be mindful of how you spend that energy. You got to be mindful how you spend your thoughts and your emotions and who you spend them with. Right. They either want to tear it up or laugh at it. And when I figured that out, and here, do you want to know how you know? When you tell somebody, they say, hey, JoJo, how you doing, girl? What are you working on? And I start to go into detail. Well, girl, I'm working on this. This is how you know that they're not interested. Oh, okay, yeah. And then the conversation changed. Look at that on TV. Even though we on the phone, look at that. Oh, my God. Oh, wait a minute. I was reading something. What did you say? They're not interested. So I'm not going to spend my energy trying to convince you that my dreams are valid, or what I have to say is valid, where I'm going is valid. It is valid to me and the good Lord above. And that is when I'm choosing to have an abundance life and not a scarcity life set. I'm choosing abundance. And I've got to be selfish with how I spend my energy and my time. Right, Margaret? You've got to guard your head and your heart, because this is what will happen. If you're not careful and mindful of that, you will get caught up in the negative Nellies, the Debbie Downers, and the pity party Patty, And you will find yourself knee deep, neck deep in what you thought you got past. You thought you got past to have them conversations. Girl, I'm broke again. I ain't got no gas again. The kids getting on my nerves again. Your husband getting on your nerves again. These people at work. And you will find yourself right back in that cycle. That's why you got to be mindful of that. So, and then if you choose to go back there, honey, my sisters, you got to deal with the consequences that go with it. Exactly, Miss Kim. That's why I have a whole class on new rules to new you. And it is not bad to develop new rules to the new you. It's not bad. It's not. Because I have to have that. Because what I don't want to do is get to Jesus and he say, well, JoJo, you sure didn't do nothing I told you to do, but you did everything everybody else told you to do. I do not want him to say that. And so for him not to say that, I've got to establish who I interact with, who I give that energy to, and who I give that my mindset to. So I'm just saying. That is my true confession and conversation today on this Motivational Monday. As Miss Margaret says, make it happen Monday. What mindset are you choosing? When you make a choice, you got to be willing to deal with the consequences of it. And not making a choice is making one. If you're not making a choice to live in abundance, the only other option is living in scarcity. If you choose not to make a change in your situation, that means you're okay with your situation. You can't tell me one without the other. The tongue, Lisa Nichols says, the tongue in the mouth and the tongue in the shoe have got to align. They've got to be going. And in the beginning of that journey, that's a hard thing to understand. It's a hard thing to accept. It's a hard because you want to say one thing, but you're used to doing another. And so that's where your new tribe, your purpose partners, your new friends, the new rules, that's when all of that comes in handy so that your actions are going to start to line up to that. I hope this has helped somebody today. I know that was so not my thought for the day. It was, but it was. I didn't mean to go as my family say, you just tell all your business. It's okay. I am my sister's keeper. And if that means I am okay with telling the truth of my situation so that somebody else doesn't have to live the crazy I lived, I'm A-okay with that. I am more than A-okay with that. So I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. Please make sure you share this video because sharing is caring. Please make sure to decide what choice you're going to make today. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel with over 300 shows over there. So you can go and binge watch the Fearless Morning Show. Simply type in Fearless Morning Show and we're going to pop up. I've labeled them by topic and by title. Y'all, please make a choice. If you need purpose partners, let me know that. And listen, you need to be intentional about your new friends. I'm looking for new friends, and I got criteria for my new friends. I like my old ones, but I want some new ones. And so be intentional about when you get serious and focus about what you want, it is so easy to set that thing in motion and that intention. Child, please. I don't like that. Nope. I don't want that. Nope. This is what I want. And then you have your parameters and your guidelines. You got the syllabus of your life. It becomes so much easier to decide who you give your energy to, who you give your time to, who you allow in your space. And just like this applies to you, the same applies to other people. If you're that person, the person that we're talking about, Negative Nelly, Pity Party Patty, check yourself before you give it to somebody else. Be mindful of your words, my friends. So you could be the person that everybody else is talking about that's holding people down. Think about this example. A friend of mine's friend was up for a promotion. And they had every reason in the world why this person shouldn't get that promotion. You're that person's friend, but you're beating them upside the head with that they're less than because you don't think, that person didn't think they deserve the promotion. That's not your business. So in that instance, you're the negative Nelly. You're the Debbie Downer, the Pity Party Patty. You're the person who was holding somebody else back. Why would you want to do that? So think about that today. And then if you are that person, think about why are you that way? You know, and I'll tell you why. It's because them getting a promotion, them doing different from you is shining the light on the fact that you're not doing what you need to do, or maybe your inactivity to do what you need to do, or the fact that you may have been stuck in that one spot forever and you never thought you could do something. You thought it, but you never did it. And so because you didn't do it, you mad at them because they took the extra step to do it. Action, baby. Thank you, Miss Margaret. Don't get mad. You cannot get mad at the next person for wanting to achieve their dreams when you have not done the work to achieve your own. It simply takes making a step. You can't tell me that you pray to Jesus and ask God to change your situation and you're not willing to do the work of it. You can't tell me that. You cannot complain about where you are if you're not willing to do the work of the answer. This is the problem. This is the answer. And there's always an answer to every problem. You got to be willing to do the work of the answer. And if you're not willing to do the work of the answer, you cannot complain. I could not complain about I could complain because your reasons are valid. Your excuses are valid. They're real. My husband beat me. He pulled me by my hair. He threw me out of a car. He blacked my eye, burned my nose and my lip. He did all of that. He did all of that. I was both the problem and the solution. I stayed in that situation. My solution was to leave. It was either die there at his hands or die fighting trying to get out. So what did I choose? I chose to die trying to get out. Because it's my life. It's not yours. It's not yours for the taking. I'm not willing to give it to you. And I was willing to do the work. Now, was the work hard? Hell yeah. I didn't like living in a shelter. I didn't like begging for food. I didn't like asking to wear other people's underwear, bras. Can I please have a toothbrush? Can I please have a comb? I didn't like any of that. None of that was fun at all. Do you understand me? I didn't enjoy one part of that process. However, I was willing to do the work because I knew what I wanted from here and I knew the end result was here. And it's on that invisible road, that stretchy road, that I made a choice not to live in scarcity, but in abundance in my thinking, not mindset, but in my thinking that I took the steps. And you don't always know the next steps you're going to take, but you got to start walking. Good morning, D. Yes, you die inside. And there's a lot of us that are so dead to our situations and our current relationships and our friendships and our family life that you wake up angry every morning and you have no idea why. You wake up just mad and you don't know why. Good morning, Kid Lynn. My friend, my girls was like, why do you call her that? I was like, we've been friends since forever. And I used to call her Lynn, but somewhere along the way I called her Kitty Lynn. So that's okay. Listen, guys, that scarcity mindset, please don't let it get you hooked up. Please don't let it stop you from achieving your dreams. Find you a purpose partner. Find you somebody that is going to help you think differently. You can't go to the same people that is doing the same things that you're doing thinking you're going to think differently. You're not. It's not going to happen. But you got to be willing to do the work of it. And you can't complain if you're not willing to do the work. I don't want you to complain about the situation. And you can complain. Again, your excuses are valid and your reasons are valid. They're never going to go away. But at what point are we going to decide that we want something different? Yes, build your tribe. Thank you, Miss Margaret, is one of my purpose partners. That's somebody that you can call that's going to challenge your way of thinking and seeing. That's somebody you can call and say, I got this idea. And they're not going to say it's crazy. They're going to say, hot darn, let's get on it, girl. You can make that happen. And they're going to help show you or think differently than what you've been thinking. That will excite you and ignite you. But if you don't make a choice, you're making a choice. If you don't make a choice to start thinking and doing differently, you're making a choice to stay where you are. Stay concurrent. Be mindful of the energy that you're expending today. Be mindful of the thoughts that you share. Be mindful of the people who try to come in and be energy suckers and takers. And I think we've got to be careful because as women, we are givers and we are caretakers by nature, right? So we want to take care of people. But are they sucking all of your energy out so you have nothing left to give? Be mindful of that. Your friends and family could be sucking literally the life out of you, and you're giving it to them freely. You're giving them, you're buying into their crazy. Your family crazy. Your friends, they crazy. Yeah, for real. And you're buying into it, and you're taking all of your energy and putting it into that. And so at the end of the day, right before, as you put the kids to bed, and you're sitting down and you think the only relief I have is to watch this TV show. The only relief I have is to drink this alcohol. The only relief I have is to complain to my friends. That's because somebody's taking all your energy. Yes, we get into it. And let me tell you, that mental health space is real. You think I won't go and lock a bathroom door and stay in there for 2 hours? I have nothing left to give. And I'm so careful about my energy. If I've given and I'm not receiving it, I then have to stop it and say, okay, I'm reaching my capacity. I can't do anymore. And that's healthy, and that's not selfish, because if I want to continue to give and do, I've got to rest. And if you're taking all of my energy and you have none left for yourself, you're going to be exhausted, and then you're again choosing to live in scarcity. Be mindful of the people who take all of your energy, and you don't have to participate. And I'm going to really close out the show, but I just want people to understand you don't have to participate. And this is when somebody, and y'all heard the confessions today. So when somebody says, right, I refuse, Miss Margaret, I refuse. I reserve some of JoJo every day. Every day. I refuse to participate in people's crazy. Meaning, if a friend of yours wants to talk about the coworker, or if they want to do something different, or if they bring a negativity to you, or it's an argument that you know that is the same argument all the time and the answer's never going to change, I'm willingly participating in that person's crazy. They are okay with me participating in their crazy. They enjoy it. I'm the one with the problem. So I can't get mad at somebody else when they start an argument with me about the same thing we've been arguing about for 10 years, 20 years, 2 weeks, because that's important to them. It's not important to me, and it's hurting my feelings. They don't care about that because they keep having the same conversation. So you've got to be mindful. You don't have to participate. And guess what happens when you stop participating? They stop participating. They'll probably get mad all over again. You ignoring me? No, I simply refuse to give you the energy and the space, because all that anger and frustration that you're using toward that situation is taken away from you dreaming and living in your purpose over here. That's why you're drained every night. That's why you have nothing left by noon. By 2 o'clock, by 3, every day you're drinking a cup of coffee. That's because you have expanded all of your energy. That's why you're so sleepy when you drive home that you don't know how you got there. That's why when you get home, you got to sit on the side of the couch and take a nap. That's why when you finally sit down, you go right to bed. Right, Margaret? I'm not doing it. And when it became important to me not to participate in your crazy, then I was okay. But until that time, they're going to want you to participate in that crazy. They okay with that? You want to know why they okay? Because they keep bringing you the same stuff. You know, you got that turn up friend who can come to you and y'all going to talk about the same, girl, my baby daddy. And you know that's going to be the whole conversation. Oh, you got that friend that's always complaining about the job. That's going to be the whole conversation. Or that person that's always complaining about the church. That's going to be that conversation. The pastor wife, the preacher should do this. Here's the thing with your relationship with God. And I had to learn this for myself. My pastor can't give it to me. My first lady can't help me. The missionaries can't pray me in. The ushers cannot usher me to the gates of heaven. I'm telling you, the deacons can't take up enough money. The trustees can't protect me. It is my sole relationship, my sole responsibility to have that relationship. They may guide me and say, hey, you might want to think about this, but it is your soul relationship. And some of us get so caught up thinking that that is our answer when it's really not. I'm just saying, be mindful of the choices that you make today, guys. Are you choosing scarcity or are you choosing your abundant mindset? And if you're choosing neither one, then you're choosing scarcity. So be mindful of that today. On this, as Margaret says, Make It Happen Monday, Motivational Monday. Please think about that. Yes, you got to do what's best for you. You got to. And you can't allow people to make you feel sorry for doing what's best for you. Because your family and friends will suck you into that. I felt so bad. I can't tell you the times I cried. My feelings were hurt. I was angry. I was upset because all I wanted to do was to be different than everybody else. I knew that I had a different something that I was supposed to do. And I'm fighting to tell everybody, hey, I'm kind of different. And they're fighting me, telling me, we don't care if you're different. This is the way we've always been. We've always done this. And your family and friends can only love you to where they see you. And that's okay. And we got to accept that they can only love us where they can see us. It is now our responsibility to find that tribe, that sister, that somebody who can push us and love us past that. That's why I am my sister's keeper. I don't take it lightly. And if somebody reaches out to me with any idea, any thought, I'm that person. It doesn't have to be an awkward conversation. I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it. Whether you want to share a dream, whether you want to share a thought, whether you want to share that frustration, I'm that person that's going to be like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. But we got to pay attention. And I don't want to because everybody's family's not like that. Let me say that everybody's family is not like that at all. I'm saying the majority of family and friends are like that. If your family's not like that, I'm so happy for you. If they support you and they do that, that's an amazing thing. But it's okay to be selfish to want the best for yourself. Right. Right. I've been called, let me tell you, and I think it's sometimes your friend, your family, they call you names or they pick at you because they don't understand your journey. And because they don't understand your journey, that's their way of coping with it. That's their way of coping with it. With not understanding with, that JoJo, son, she might be crazy for real. I don't quite understand her. So I'm going to pick at her about this thing because I don't understand where she's going. And that's okay. You got to be okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, all right, guys, for real, I got to go. The morning show has went over for real, for real. Thank you so much for joining the Fearless Morning Show. I hope this has helped somebody. Please make sure you share this video because sharing is caring. Choose either scarcity or choose abundance thinking today. You not choosing is a choice. Yeah, they think it's not funny. I'm not laughing. But I've been called nerd all my life. I've been called Peppermint Patty. I embrace all of that. I am a nerd, and you can call me Peppermint Patty. I'm okay with that. I'm living true to who I am at my core, so it doesn't matter. You can get frustrated, but are you frustrated with me for living true to who I am at my core? Or are you frustrated with yourself because it highlights your inactivity, that you're not letting your light shine, that you're not living true to who you are? So you're not living true to who you are. So you're frustrated with your situation. You're going to take it out with your friends, your family, your kids, your job, yourself. And then you're up to here, mad and frustrated. And you're taking it out on everybody else when you should be mad as hell at yourself for accepting the conditions that everybody else put on you. When you get mad about that, then my friend, the change will happen. Then my friend, things will change. I'm just saying. I enjoy sharing with you, my friend, Miss Margaret. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you, Kitty Lee. And remember, the tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have got to align. When you first start on this journey, it may not. But if you keep speaking it, it will. Because your words are actions. Your words are thoughts. They are real. And they will come to pass. I promise. Please make sure you share this video, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining the Fearless Morning Show. And I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.